For those of us who left the Israeli embassy last night following a moving tribute, and I joined Senator Wong in acknowledging the words of Senator O'Neill and Senator O'Sharma, who both spoke on behalf of the Parliamentary Friends of Israel at that tribute. We left with a book called Testimonies Without Boundaries. Edited by Alon Penzel, it brings together some of those testimonies from October 7. It was quoted on the night, and indeed it is challenging to look, to read, to absorb some of the content within this book. One is the testimony of Nathan Kenig, a Zaka volunteer, Zaka being a disaster response volunteer organisation. Natan said, "We arrived at the kibbutz once again on Wednesday morning. This day is engraved in my memory and will remain with me forever. Several days had already passed since the attack, and there was already a smell at this point. The terrible sights combined with other senses made the experience even more difficult. The most horrific situation I encountered was when we entered one of the destroyed houses in the kibbutz after receiving a call about an extremely pungent smell from the place. We entered the house by climbing over the ruins because they were completely destroyed. Suddenly we saw a mattress and a girl tied to it. We tried to separate her from the mattress, but we couldn't and didn't understand why. When we looked closer, we noticed that metal wires were running inside her body. We were sure these were threads from the mattress that entered her body. Therefore, we began to clear the rubble that was around the mattress. What we saw under the rubble was unbelievable. Suddenly, we realised the girl was actually tied to a man, apparently her partner, on the other side of the mattress. Both were completely naked. They inserted metal wires into their bodies through their stomachs and tied them together on both sides of the mattress. Whole metal wires were inserted through the stomach from both sides to the both of them, so they would be tied together on both sides of the mattress. It was horrifying, that coldness. You can't contain it. It is hard to comprehend or understand how or why anyone would behave in such a barbaric way. Acts of war are always tragic. Acts of warfare always result in terrible suffering and terrible loss of human life. But these were not acts of war. These were acts of terror to the full meaning and intent of that word terror.